So I have a lot to catch you up on, you guys, but I want to let you know housekeeping, the air conditioner is on because it's super hot down here in Texas and it's been over 100 degrees for a very long time. There's no way I'm cutting off the air. So if you hear any wind, that's because the air conditioner is on. All right, y'all, it feels like it has been forever since I've updated you on my fractional executive journey. And a lot has transpired in the last couple weeks, so I have a lot to unpack. But I did promise you guys a few videos back that I would tell you exactly what role I was pursuing once I figured it out. I have figured it out, and I will tell you. But there was something else I talked to you guys a while back about, and that was actually listing a few of the common fractional executive roles. So I will go ahead and do that. And at the very end, I will let you know what role I finally decided on and what I'm working on. Just to let you know, after this video, things are going to get really technical. So things are going to ramp up. I'm going to take you behind the scenes on everything, but let's go ahead and get into the different roles. If you're new here, my name is Nicole, and this series is my journey to becoming a fractional executive. So for the last few videos, I've been chronicling what I've been doing to transition into a fractional executive role. So in this video, I'll be explaining about different fractional executive roles and what role I finally actually landed on. So my background is in nursing. I'm a nurse practitioner. I've also written a ton of books and publications and all of that. So I've done a lot. And it's really difficult for me to kind of figure out what exactly I was going to do and how I was going to fit in. So with that being said, if you look at the most common fractional executive roles, I don't necessarily fit into any of them. So let's go ahead and get started with one of the most common fractional executive roles you probably actually heard of, and that is a fractional marketing officer, or a CMO. So a fractional marketing officer is basically the one who takes control of all of the marketing for the company. So this could be a smaller company or this could be a bigger company. So when I say all of the marketing, so they are doing the strategy. They're not necessarily actually executing, they are giving strategy. People below are usually executing most times. And what I mean below, I mean by like managers, assistant managers. They're not that chief marketing officer, okay? So another really common fractional executive position is a chief financial officer, or a CFO. So this person is in charge of financials. And so they are overseeing all the financials of the company, all the operations as far as finances is concerned. So maybe someone in an accounting background can transition into a CFO role eventually. If we want to get bigger, we can even have a fractional CEO, a chief executive officer. And so this is for the companies that maybe need somebody to step in the interim until they find a permanent CEO, okay? So remember, fractional basically means on a part-time or contract basis, depending on how you look at it, okay? So we know part-time is not 40 hours a week. Contractors usually don't work 40 hours a week. And then if you are in a position where you are coming from like nursing or healthcare, per diem is probably the term that you're looking for. So this is like a per diem position. So with that being said, fractional, part-time, contract, that's the type of role. There are other roles within the fractional executive suite. So there are also like CXOs. So those are chief experience officers, so that's like the UX officers. There's also a CTO, which is a chief technology officer, so that is probably someone who is coming more from an IT background and has moved up the ranks into a fractional or a chief technology officer. Okay, so we can even get into creative positions as a fractional executive. So this would be something like a fractional creative director or a fractional art director. So these two titles can be used interchangeably. So this is basically a person that is used to doing the graphics. They are used to maybe laying out ads, maybe making sure that the blogs are completely laid out and they have the images on them. These people are the creative people because they are worried about aesthetics and what the visuals actually look like. We also have something like chief brand officers. So these brand officers are obviously in control of brands, so brand strategy and brand visuals. And if you hadn't noticed by now, a lot of these titles and a lot of these roles can seem to run together. And so that's kind of where I had a little bit of problem, not only because I'm coming from a different background and a healthcare background at that, but because some of these roles can overlap, especially with what I was doing with my agency, Studio 822, with YouTube, brand management, and things like that. This could actually fall into something like a creative director or art director role, but I didn't think that was quite the right fit for me. So you guys have been super patient. Thank you so much for being super patient with me. But I finally want to reveal what I'm pursuing and what my title is going to be. Are you ready? Okay, so I have landed on, with my background as a nurse practitioner, as a writer, as someone who creates videos, content creator, agency owner, etc., 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 I have landed on fractional content marketing manager. Or in some places, that would be a fractional content officer. Okay, so we have different titles, but they mean the same thing basically. So a fractional content marketing manager actually falls into a lot of what I do and a lot of what my experience encompasses. So yes, I do have to take into consideration my medical background as a nurse practitioner. So that is taken into consideration. But we also have to take into consideration everything that I've done as far as my books and everything else and videos and everything else that goes along with it. So the best title for me seemed to be content marketing manager, because I also have the marketing aspect. So not just creative director, right? So creative director and content marketing manager, sometimes depending on the company, they do the same things. And like I said, sometimes things overlap. So I did look at a creative director role at first, and I was thinking maybe that was a little bit too limited when we added in the healthcare aspect, because it just depends on where you're looking for these roles, what company is going to use what title. So like different companies may use art director, different companies may use creative director. It just depends on the company, right? But when I was adding in my medical experience, I didn't see that much for a creative director. It was very, 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 very narrow. Even still, going into a broader field like creative direction, where I could say, yes, I've got writing experience, yes, I've got video experience, but the healthcare part made it really, really, really tight and really hard to find those positions, right? So when I looked into content marketing manager, that broadened up a lot, okay? So this pool had opened up a lot, and then even adding in healthcare, it seemed like there were a good amount of roles that had healthcare, and they were looking for content marketing managers or clinical content leads, okay? So that would be something like specifically for healthcare, because you're doing clinical content. So that seemed to open it up even more, okay? And so I'm feeling good, because I've been working on this research piece for maybe about a month now, trying to figure out where I fit in, where I would fit in with the companies, what I can actually offer people as a fractional executive with my particular skill set. So that is what I've landed on. So content marketing manager is what I've landed on, and I'm in the process of getting everything together. So updating all of my socials, updating my website, making sure everything's together and everything's cohesive. But I've also started with my outreach as far as finding my first role. And like I told you earlier in the video, there have been a lot of ups and downs these past couple of weeks regarding, finding what I'm gonna do and figuring out, trying to talk to people about this role and trying to get calls, right? Trying to get book calls for clients. So these next couple videos are going to be pretty technical. I'm gonna be going through what tech stack I'm using. So how I'm setting everything up on the back end to accept clients, my CRM, my scheduler, my my invoicing system. I'm setting up my cold email. So I'll be showing you the sequences, how to set up the cold email, how to actually get leads. So this is going to be very technical for the next couple videos as I am actively hunting for clients. Not just going and doing my research and emailing a couple people here and there. It is going to be an active hunt, and I'm going to take you guys along with me because I feel like you guys need to see the journey. But there has been a lot going on. I cannot wait to share everything that's been going on for these last couple weeks. But in order to hear about that, you're gonna have to catch the next video because I've got to update you. I've got to keep everything kind of together, and I'll update you on the next video about everything that's been going on as far as the ups and downs, the research, because it's going to go along with what we'll be doing in the next couple of videos. So with that being said, you guys have a wonderful day. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe, share, and I'll see you on the next video.